Hi, I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com, and if you're doing a floor tiling project in a bathroom, you've probably come across this problem where you've got a toilet flange in the floor that you need to cut a tile around. So we're going to deal with that exact topic in this video. So we've got a bit of a sample floor here that we've been shooting a few videos with, and we're just going to say that we've got a toilet flange here in the floor. Yours is going to be wherever. This particular one ends up being, you know, out in the middle of a single tile. You could have one where it's, you know, maybe it catches 2 or 3 tiles all at the same time. Though in that situation it's actually easier, but in our case we're going to need to cut a hole for that flange out of basically the center of a tile. So the first thing really that I need to do is I need to find the center of the flange. Okay, so measuring off the tile, the last tile, or maybe you've just got a line on the floor or whatever. I'm at about 5 1/8. Now our grout lines in this case are about 3/16. So if I just go 5 inches, that'll be close enough to find the center point there. So I've got my tile that I want to cut into. So I'll just start out by getting a mark at 5 inches. Then I've got to find out, find my point this direction from the existing tile rows. So I'm lining this up with the edge of this tile, just getting it straight, and I can measure off of there to find the center. So right there to the edge of the tile, I'm going to be 6 1/2. So that'd be from this side. So right there is the center of my flange if my tile's sitting in here like this. Okay. I'm just going to mark an arrow on the tile so I don't turn it. I just know that the arrow I want facing away from me. Okay, so there's a couple different scenarios that you might have. In most cases, I like to be able to have the flange disconnected from below so that I can take it on and off. In your case, your flange might be connected, you can't get at it, and it could be already fastened to the floor. So in that case, you want to actually cut your tile to fit the outside of that flange. And what I would do is just measure your flange. In this case it's 7 inches, so I'd want to make my actual hole about 7 1/4 inches, so it gives you a little bit of breathing room around it. Then when you put your tile in and go to grout, you can grout that space. It shouldn't show anyways, your toilet should cover it, but and in that case then you're going to want to use a couple of wax rings, because this flange is actually lower than it should be. In that particular case. The reason I like to have my flanges so that they're removable and I put it in after the tile is so that it can sit up on the tile and it gets a nice, better seal to the toilet. So that's the way I'm going to show you how to do it. Really the only difference is in the circumference of the hole. So in my case, because I want the tile to sit up on the hole, I need the hole in that tile to be slightly smaller than the hole diameter of this. So we said this was 7 inches. It's got some screw locations in there, so just to make it easy, I don't want to have to drill through the tile to put those screws in. So I need my tile just to come in, about that much underneath the flange, and then this screwing through it won't be any problem. So looks like that. If I come in about 1/4 inch each way, so 1/2 inch total. So I'm going to go, instead of 7 inches, I'd go 6 1/2. So I'll just use my protractor here to draw a circle. I'm going to set this at 3 1/4. I'll start at the 1. I should have had this set up before we were ready to go. Okay, so yeah, so that'd be 3 1/4, which will be 6 1/2. So we've got our center location. I'll just mark that. Be sure the point of your compass isn't sliding around on you too much, so that you're pretty accurate. Okay, so there you can see that's the circumference, or the diameter that we want to cut that tile at, so that we can put the tile in place and then slip the flange over without it falling through. So what I like to do to cut that hole is I like to use an angle grinder with a tile cutting or a masonry type segmented saw blade in it. Okay, and I'm going to obviously be using eye protection, hearing protection, and a mask for the dust. Your grinder hopefully has a guard on it to be safer. So basically what I'm going to do is turn the grinder on, and I'm going to score a line, or score a mark all the way around on that line. Now I've got a little bit of leeway, but I basically want to stay pretty close to that. This is going to create a fair bit of dust, and you know, so you might even want a vacuum going or whatever to suck up some of that dust. But I'm going to get my safety gear on. Okay, so you'll see I'm just taking nice short little strokes. I'm not pushing real hard. I'm just going little by little, and I'll make enough passes till I finally cut right through the tile. So you can see I've gone all the way around, basically followed my line that I had there, and just got the whole circle started. If we were really close to an edge here, you know, still in one tile, but maybe we're right over here by an edge, more than likely it's going to break off right in here. So you might want to put a couple of relief cuts there, knowing it's going to break. If it's that close, like say within ½ an inch of this hole, it's going to be under the toilet anyways. But if you put a relief here, it'll prevent the tile usually from breaking anywhere else, like out here where it would be seen sticking out front of the toilet. In this case, we should be safe to just keep cutting that all the way around without breaking this. So I'll just keep going with that. It takes a little bit of time. Just go nice and slow. If you try to force it, you are probably going to break the tile or you know, slip and cut yourself. Also, I'll kind of be using my knees a little bit just to stabilize the tile too, so it's not moving around. Okay, so you can see as I got further along there, eventually you can see that you've cut through the tile. So you just keep working your way around until you've got it all cut through, and your piece should drop out of there. So now we've got our hole cut right through the tile. And I've got my arrow, remember, that I put on there to let me know which direction I had to be. And I'm just going to set it basically in place first and dry fit it. Make sure that this flange would sit down on there and all my screws are going to miss the tile edge, which it looks like it is. The hole in the tile is a little offset to my left, but it's still going to clear all the holes, so it would be fine. So from that point on, then I would just simply install that tile like any other tile, knowing that that's going to fit right the first time, and it'll sit up there nicely where it should be. You notice my blade, I think this is a 5-inch blade. Yeah, it measures 4 3/4, but I think they call it a 5-inch. A 4-inch blade is a little bit easier to deal with when cutting these smaller holes, when you're turning, you know, trying to shave it around the corner, but the 5-inch does work, as you see me just do. So that's how I would cut a hole in a tile for a toilet flange. Hopefully it was helpful, and it helps you in whatever project you're dealing with. If you have any questions about anything else, you can go to our forum and post up a question, and then I can answer it from there. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And I hope this was informative, and thanks for watching.